All right. That was a PSA for breakfast. Eat your breakfast. I didn't, and now I'm shaking. We can't all make good life choices. I'm Jem, by the way. This is No Boys Allowed. I hope this is working. This is my first time in the studio. You may or may not hear me very well. Oh, is that better? That might be better. Well, you'll let me know. Oops, a little loud. First time in the studio, bear with me, if you will. No Boys Allowed is the name of my show. Jem Miller is my name. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've been here. A whole summer, you may say. And, usually I have some lo-fi beats to study to in the background, but unfortunately I did not pull those up today. So it's just gonna be real quiet behind me. So, the summer happened. I did not do my show. What did I miss? I feel like I might have missed a few things. Perhaps a few very large things. One very important thing that happened in the summer is a little album got dropped by this indie artist. You may or may not have heard of her. Her name is Lorde. And people have been talking about it, perhaps. Perhaps some like it. Perhaps some really do not like it. So, this album, Solar Power, came out maybe like a month ago, maybe. I don't have any concept of time anymore, but it came out at a period of time. It came out for sure. And there's been a lot of different opinions about it. So Lorde, let's talk about Lorde. Lorde started her fame out at the age of 17 when a little song called Royals got very popular in 2013. It was this dark, kind of introspective song about fame and youth. Almost a cappella with very little instrumentation and little bits of percussion throughout. But lots of vocal harmonies, really nice vocal melody, but with a very unique tone of voice. Almost, as the kids nowadays say, she was singing in cursive. She was singing cursive. She had this very quirky way of singing. I'm sure you all know this. I don't know why I'm explaining it, but I feel the need to give some context. Now, we all know Royals, really great song. I love it. I feel like there's very little I can say about Royals. I think it's a great tune. Pretty good lyrics. But the album Pure Heroine that came out she dropped an EP, but I didn't listen to it, so I'm not going to talk about it. But there was an album, Pure Heroine, very popular amongst teens. Describes the teen experience quite well, with songs like Ribs, of which I feel no need to talk about, because we all know Ribs. Buzz Cut Season, Tennis Court, and my personal favorite on the album, Team, which was the single after Royals, which I feel like doesn't get nearly enough love. It is so good. So I'm going to play those 3 songs just to give you a vibe if you don't know Lorde, but of course you do. To give you a vibe of what this album's like. Very dark, some quirky production choices for the time for a pop album. Lots of tuning voices up and down, which is kind of became a trope in pop in like 2014, 2015, up until 2016, that, moving voices up, moving voices down, especially in the song Tennis Court, which I'll play, which was also a single, not nearly as successful as Royals or even Team, but I love Tennis Court. Just really brought this quirkiness to pop in 2013 that was not there at all before Lorde showed up. Pretty much the landscape of pop music was pretty much like Black Eyed Peas. I don't know how to describe it besides before Lorde there was Black Eyed Peas, and that's what pop was. The Black Eyed Peas. I've got a feeling. Very party atmosphere. Everything's about partying. I hope I'm not being too loud. Am I being too loud on your little ears? So sorry. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Kesha was huge with lots of party anthems. And then after Lorde showed up, there was a slow change to the kind of hit music was a little bit sad. And perhaps I should play that for you. You think? Do you think I should play some of that now? I'm going to play some of that now. This is Tennis Court by Lorde. And then after that is Buzzcut Season by Lorde. And then Team. And then I'm going to play some more songs after that. I hope that's okay. Thank you. I'm going to play that right now.
Nacho.
Whoa! Oh no. Never mind, I paused it. Pardon the technicalness. You want to say something, Justin? This is Justin, gross. Oh, I gotta turn you on, don't I? That is how that works. There you go, friendo.
Yeah, can I? Yep.
There you are, bud.
Look at that.
It's a little loud, perhaps. We're doing mixing in the studio today.
It's all on the fly.
We're cooking up things in the stew.
Real hot.
We're with Skateboard P in the stew.
Not Skateboard P.
Absolutely Skateboard P.
It's my friend Skateboard P.
I don't think anybody know that Skateboard P means Pharrell.
But they should.
I think that
And they're
should be
gonna
common
learn.
knowledge.
We're gonna have them learn.
We're gonna have them learn. True. That was Team. I love Team. I think Team is the most fun on the album, and then Buzzcut Season is a really good, like, mellow kind of
Instrumental?
No.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. No. Introspective.
Okay, yeah.
Introspective kind of song. I like it.
I feel as though Team deserved to get more attention in like the
agree.
mainstream than it actually got.
Absolutely.
Because it was like you said, it was released as a single.
It was.
And it kind of charted, but not really.
I heard it on the radio as a
I
child.
did too, yeah.
But
it didn't do like super duper great.
No, not as much as Royals, which was number one.
Well, you can't beat Royals.
You can't beat Royals. Now, it's time to talk about melodrama. Do you want to talk about melodrama?
I don't know what there needs to be said about melodrama that hasn't already been said. Like,
I have things to say that hasn't been said.
Well, because you're a crazy person.
I'm not crazy.
And you have terrible taste in music.
Don't you say that about me. I will cry. No, but melodrama is Lorde's most famous, popularist album.
Would you say that?
It seemingly has had much more of an emotional impact on people than Pure Heroin.
I feel like it's definitely her most liked album.
Yeah, because Pure Heroin has some real, like truly boring ones.
I agree. Oh, I agree.
And Melodrama is an album, this is my opinion, not Justin's.
Mm-hmm. Please.
That Melodrama is an album filled with decent songs, few of which stand out as fantastically good. To me, Pure Heroin has a handful of really bangers. Like Royals is great. Tennis Court to me is great. Team, great.
See, the way you feel about melodrama is how I feel about Pure Heroin. Especially like the further away I get from middle school, where it's like it has like the three big songs, and a couple that are like also quite good, and then the rest of it like I never care about. And that's my Lorde hot take, is that I don't like Ribs.
Yeah, I know you don't like Ribs. I like Ribs.
I don't like Ribs the song. I don't like Ribs the food. I don't like having ribs in my body.
I wish I've been trying to get them removed.
I want to get
so
de-ribbed,
long.
but it's been taking so long. I've been on a list for years.
I've been on the waiting list.
But yeah, I think that melodrama is significantly better. I took a BuzzFeed quiz when melodrama first came out, and it's like, are you more Pure Heroin or melodrama? And it said I was more melodrama, and I was like, that's right.
Okay.
You're so right,
and BuzzFeed's always right.
BuzzFeed's never been wrong about me.
Not once.
Never, yeah.
So melodrama, here's my opinion. It's made for people who have relationship problems, and I don't have those. Or like to... They like to fantasize about having relationship problems.
Oh my God.
And I don't like to fantasize about that type of relationship problems.
That was a brutal attack on my character.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Wow.
If the shoe fits. So I love Homemade Dynamite, but again, I don't think about almost any of these songs very often. They do not come into my conscious.
I definitely can agree with that, but the problem is that when I remember that they exist, then I like go all in on these songs. I go all in.
I can get
ham.
behind that. I can get behind that.
Like the amount that I was let down by Solar Power, which I guess you'll probably get to before I have to leave, reminded me of how much I like melodrama and how much I like the songs on melodrama.
Yeah.
And like, wow, some of these songs are like a lot better than I remember them being. Even the ones that like I kept telling myself I didn't really care about.
Except for To Me, which is the one where it's Again, they all kind of meld into one in
Sure.
my head.
Sure.
I get confused Sober. I didn't put that on this playlist. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll play that instead of Hard Feelings.
We're making it up as we go.
Because I actually don't care that much about
I
Hard
actually
Feelings.
really like that one because I like the outro on it.
I like the outro a lot.
I kind of like the outro more than I like the song itself.
Me too.
You like Loveless more?
I love Loveless.
Loveless
actually.
is great.
Anyway, Melodrama is supposed to be an album where you go into different rooms at a party. That's what she says it is.
Yeah, she did say that.
That has never read once to me. Ever has that ever read.
That's a big house to have a lot of rooms in.
You're so right.
Wouldn't you say?
I'm gonna add this to the playlist. Last minute. I like Sober a lot. Cause a Green Light I love.
Mm-hmm.
Again, don't think of it.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other big ones? Homemade Dynamite I like. That's on this playlist.
Right.
That one's fun. Remember when she performed that at the VMAs, but she was sick?
She did?
And she, yes. Here, it gets better. She was sick, so she didn't sing it. She just did an interpretive dance, but didn't tell anybody that she was sick. So it was just doing.
Oh, I do vaguely remember hearing about that. Oh my God.
Isn't that great?
The nerve.
Big fan of that.
The sheer nerve.
Big fan of that.
That's incredible.
And so it was just her flopping around town.
I would love to do that.
How do I move this around? I don't know.
Can you just drag and drop them?
You can. Oh my God. We're figuring out technology as we're doing the show. And when I mean we, I mean me.
I'm just watching.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I love kind of the poppier ones instead of the more sad ones. Like, I like Liability. I don't like the instrumentation. The piano is really... It's not organic sounding enough to me.
I have no opinions about Liability.
Yeah, I like the lyrics. The piano is, like, so, like... feels really produced. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Instead of and if it was going to be produced, I wish it was a little more gritty sounding, maybe with like just maybe like a little bit more reverb, a little echoey, or like it's in the distance.
I feel like that was definitely a thing with a lot of like Jack Antonoff tracks of that era where a lot of like just the straight piano ballads were very clean.
Yeah, because that's true of some of the... Because same year was...
Reputation.
Mass Seduction.
Mass Seduction.
No, I will not agree with the Reputation because New Year's Day has the perfect amount of piano.
Okay.
That's really reverby piano.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. It's not very... That's kind of what I wish. I wish this was more like New Year's Day by Reputation when it came to that.
What else did he do that year?
Mass Seduction.
Yeah.
Mass Seduction's 2017.
Yes.
I don't know which... Did he produce that whole album?
Yeah, whole thing.
I would say that like... New York is a little
right. Okay, yeah.
too produced. I prefer the Mass Education version of New York.
Forget about New York.
We're getting off track. This is about St. Vincent now.
Why?
We're talking about St. Vincent. Anyway, that's my qualms. But there are some really cool creative choices on this album that I guess I don't think about enough because I listen to more of the radio-y kind of tracks instead of the more like I don't care as much about the Louvre.
Does this mean that you're more of a fan of Rider in the Dark? Do you like Rider in the Dark?
I do like that one.
Okay.
I like that. I think that's the better version of the kind of sad songs.
Right, yeah.
But here I have Homemade Dynamite. Fun. Just kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just fun. You ever had fun before?
I love to have fun. Did you know there's a Tove Lo writing credit?
Really?
Yeah. Have you heard the remix version of it with all the guests? Not as good.
I believe it.
Not as good.
And then I put Supercut, which is my favorite on the album.
I love Supercut. I listen to Supercut all the time when I want to be sad.
That's the one that makes me feel the most.
When I want to be sad, I listen to Supercut.
Because that's more applicable to less relationships,
yeah, it's like
but
a breakup
to periods,
song.
Any period in your life, I feel like it's very similar.
Oh, yeah.
I think that one's really good. That's, to me, the most cohesive, the most well-crafted song on the record. What did you say?
It's about growing up and moving on. You ever grown up and moved on?
Not yet.
Oh, me neither.
I'll keep you posted, though.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sober's good. It's just the catchiest.
I love
that.
I like the little...
Pum, pum.
I think the story with that is that like she started with the like Night Midnight sample.
Oh.
That's like... And I love it.
Me too.
I love that little...
I think it's
so
great.
freaky.
I think it's super good. It's so catchy. It's super catchy.
So quirky.
So quirky.
So
Lorde's a
quirky.
quirky
She's a
girl.
quirky little gal.
So I'm gonna play Homemade Dynamite for you. For you, Justin.
That's so kind of you.
Yeah.
I feel so appreciated.
You are appreciated.
And thank you so much.
So I'm gonna play that right now. I'm gonna fade it up.
Cheese.
You.
Pause the song.
That was the song. Oh, I do gotta It wasn't on anyway.
Oh, that's fine.
So sorry to listeners or future listeners when I inevitably post this. This very low quality episode. Oops. So that was Sober by Lorde, and then I played Supercut by Lorde, and then before that was Homemade Dynamite, and you'll never guess who that was by.
Was that by Lorde?
That was by Janet Jackson.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding, it was by Lorde.
I'm just kidding.
I am just kidding.
I got you guys real
Legally,
good, though.
I have to
I got
say.
you guys good, though.
Got y'all good, though.
You pulled your legs there.
I think Supercut is really good. I forgot how much I loved that song. Maybe I'll re-listen to this album and perhaps my opinion will change.
I hope it will.
Me too. I do feel like this is maybe an album I need right now. You know what I mean?
Do you think so?
Perhaps.
Why?
I don't know. I'm a little sad, but not that sad. Just a little.
And why do you feel that way?
Almost just burped into the mic. Why do I feel that way? Thank
That's
you for
why
asking.
I'm sad.
Wait, I want to talk about Solar Power before we move on.
Oh, yeah, please.
Because before you leave, which is soon, we both have very different opinions. I really enjoy Solar Power, and I find it to be a very cohesive album, though not reinventing the wheel or having anything that interesting to say. I don't really care.
I just think it's boring.
I don't need it to say anything. Well,
I don't need to say anything
So
either.
the problem, I think people are bored because I think if it wasn't by Lorde, people would like this album more.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's just so completely not a Lorde album.
Yeah.
And it's just completely, the vibe is entirely different from anything Lorde has ever done.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think people are mad at her.
People are mad at Jack Antonoff because they don't know that they should be mad at Lorde if they don't like it.
Oh, they're blaming, they're like, Jack,
Yeah, of
why
course.
did you make Lorde make this
literally.
album, even though Lorde wanted to make this album?
The way I feel about it is that, like, Jack Antonoff has, like, the same influence on the people he works with as, like, your friend might have over you, like, getting bangs. Do you know what I mean? Like, if your friend gets bangs and those bangs, like, look good, you're gonna try and want to do bangs, but then, like, you can't blame your friend if the bangs don't work for you.
Oh my god.
And I think that's I think that's what's going on with every, like, Jack Antonoff produced record, like, within the past couple of years, where it's like he did
People
it
are
like
blaming him
like
for the choices of the artist.
He did like a more like classical rock album with St. Vincent, and also I guess if you want to go all the way back to like folklore, like Taylor Swift.
A little bit. That's not really classic rock.
It's not classic rock, but it's definitely more acoustic.
Yeah.
Than anything else he had produced before.
Even though, okay, so Folklore, Daddy's Home, and Solar Power are all more acoustic, but do not sound the same.
In completely different ways.
Not
and that's
even
the problem.
close.
And
Yeah.
then people are like, oh no, he's recycling things from
He's literally
chemtrails.
not.
He's recycling things from
chemtrails.
which is
that too.
I feel the same way about with Solar Power. It's like it's just a boring, fine album.
Yeah, and it probably has nothing to do with Jack and all to do
with the people
Lana.
who make the album.
And, yeah, but I like this album because I think the melody choice is really good.
Okay.
Like, I love the melodies on The Man with the Axe. I find them just to hitting that melody, you know, that bone that we all have in our bodies.
Yeah.
Where you hear a
right
good
under
melody
your collarbone.
and you go, oh, that made me feel something.
Wow.
That's how I feel about The Man with the Axe, which I'm playing later. And then there's just some songs that are kind of fun. Like, I like Secrets from a Girl Who's Seen It All, which I'm going to play. I think The Path is a really good intro, personally.
Sure, yeah.
I think it's a good start to the album. The cool kind of vocal melody and vocal harmonies are kind of funky. But The Man with the Axe, there's another one I don't remember what it's called. This is not a super memorable album.
Nope,
I'm not going to
at
say
all.
it's great, but I'm going to say it's enjoyable to me, start to finish. No song really sticks out as a bad song to me.
Sure.
I don't really like Stoned at the Nail Salon.
I do like that one.
I don't like the beginning. It builds to a way that I like, but it's kind of, I have to sit through this kind of unrewarding beginning for a payoff that's quite nice towards the end once it builds, but it's not nearly.
I'm assuming you and I
what I
like
want.
completely different songs, right? Have we
Yes.
talked about this?
Yes.
Yeah, because my favorite's Big Star because it's so like sweet and tender. It's about her dog.
Oh yeah, her dog did die.
Her dog did die,
That's
like
why
most
she
dogs
pushed off.
tend to do.
Like most things tend to do.
I don't know about that.
Everybody dies. Marina, that song's really bad.
One day I want to roast Marina
Oh, we should do a show about Marina.
and how bad her music is.
Her music is not good.
Yeah, and how poorly
And nobody
it's
wants to
aged
talk
and-
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
except
we're
for
s-
some, I'll say a handful of songs on Prima Donna still are really great.
We're brave enough to talk about it.
This is unrelated.
Sorry.
I think Solar, but people are mad.
People are mad at Lorde.
The environment, people think she's like being hypocritical, which is not something I can get behind. How dare Lorde talk about climate change? Lorde rich.
I
Which
d- yeah,
she's
no, I
probably
did
not as
see-
rich as you think she
I
is
did
because she was a
absolutely
child star.
see a TikTok where someone was like, "How dare Lorde talk about like climate change, the effects of climate change, while being from New Zealand?" And it's like,
Flippin' kidding me.
no, literally, like she has her country has a competent government. Like, how dare she talk about issues?
Like, I don't think this album is a. It seems like she thinks it's about climate change when pretty much one song is.
I mean, I think it's kind of in a way
Fallen
like
Fruit is, which I like.
I don't like that one. That's definitely my least favorite on the
It's a
album.
little corny with the lyrics, but it could be cornier.
I don't care.
It could be, again, it could be a
bores
Marina
me.
song.
The only part I care about is the part where it sounds like melodrama.
Oh, I
little
really like it. I
breakdown.
find, yeah, I
Other
just
than that,
think,
I cannot care.
but again, when you compare, I think anybody who doesn't like Solar Power but likes Marina's latest album should be sent to jail.
Yeah, I agree.
Should be sent to jail.
Have either of us listened to Marina's latest album? No,
I
of course
have.
not.
No, I've listened
You
to parts of
did?
it. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it.
Okay.
I found it so insufferable with the lyrics.
Okay, yeah.
And the, like, really, really half-baked political messages.
Right.
So insufferable, I couldn't stand it.
That's
But I
about what
can't.
I
I
would
can't really.
expect.
Besides being boring, if you are bored by this album, I get it.
Mhm.
And I get the weird, like, Lorde left the door open during the Black Lives Matter
that
march
was
thing.
really bad.
That is absolutely insanely
and not only
weird
was
of
it,
her.
it's also bad, and like she didn't have to say that she did that either.
It was like a Matt Damon, you exposed yourself.
yeah.
That's a very fair criticism, but like the Lorde, how dare you talk about climate change?
Or how dare you talk about like spiritualism, culture, and influencers when you yourself are rich?
But
On
but
Mood
she's
Ring.
not. She's not like Gwyneth Paltrow. If Gwyneth Paltrow was like,
You don't know that.
I'm tired of wellness culture, I'd be like, Gwen.
I don't believe you.
But this is Lorde who's made it clear through her actions that
Yeah.
she does not care for that.
Yeah,
By nature of never being on social media.
literally.
So I don't get it from disliking it from a political standpoint. I just at worst it's a little half baked,
Right.
and she thinks she's doing more than she is. But again, look at Marina.
That's true of a lot of people, I think.
Please look at Marina.
That's true of a lot of artists, I think.
Please look
So.
at Marina, because Lorde at least isn't. This album is not really about politics. Marina's album entirely about
All my
politics.
friends are
all bad.
witches, and we live in Hollywood.
All my friends are.
We are
witches,
gonna
man.
have to like roast Marina at some point.
It's so bad. And then the album before that is just as bad, and yet people
We are
seem to like it less.
tangent.
Anyway, I can't describe how much I dislike Marina.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play The Path. I think it's a good intro. It kind of reminds me of it has the same similar like tone setting from the latest Halsey album, which I'll probably talk about next week.
Okay.
I'm really excited to talk about Halsey. I have a lot to say about Halsey. I actually haven't listened to her album before the latest one, Manic.
Manic.
I haven't
It's
listened
fine.
to it, so I'll listen
I
to
think
it.
I talked about it very highly when I had first listened to it. Like thinking about it, it's fine.
I'd like to listen to it. I'll listen to that, and then I'll talk about the entire Halsey discography next week.
Incredible.
But we're talking about Lorde. I'm going to play The Path. I hope that's okay.
That's totally
Are
fine.
you going to leave after this?
I'm gonna leave.
And then I'm going to be alone.
I'm gonna be all
It's just has to go to class. My co-host has to go to class. Co-host for the day, and maybe in the future.
Maybe forever.
Maybe never.
Maybe never.
I don't know. This is The Path by Lorde. And then I'm going to play Secrets from a Girl Who's Seen It All. And maybe The Man with the Axe if I have time. But I might say some things before I play that. What a low quality show.
And yet,
We'll get better later. I'm in the first time in the stew, y'all. I don't have skateboard P with
I
me.
got skateboard piano. I got no one.
Okay, here's The Path.
No.
Woo! That was Secrets from a Girl, parentheses, Who's Seen It All by Lorde. And before that was The Path by Lorde. I really like Secrets from a Girl Who's Seen It All. I feel like that's a really good song for her. Talks about her, a little bit of vulnerability. Talking about fame. You know, she really has seen it all, you know? And I love that outro. I think that's Robin. She says some really corny things in that. She says some really corny things in that outro, admittedly. I love, you can pick up your emotional baggage here, or something like that. Pick up your emotional baggage. The weather is unbearable until you face it. I think that's so funny. I think that's really funny. It makes me giggle. I think it's such a cute song. I think The Path is a really good outro. It really sets the tone. I think it's great. I think I'm going to play The Man with the Axe, but I do want to go into a little more detail about my feelings about this album. I personally really like it because I think it takes kind of like, not to keep comparing every Jack Antonoff project to each other, because I find that to be a really tired music criticism, but I'm going to do it anyway. Jack's latest album, his personal album, the Bleachers album, Take This Sadness Out of Saturday Night, which I have mostly positive feelings about it. At worst, it's boring and has some weird mixing choices. But it's mostly fine. I enjoy it. But it takes tropes from classic rock, different eras of classic rock. Obviously, the Bruce Springsteen inspiration on Take the Sadness Out of Saturday Night. But also has, just like really cool melody choices, nice harmonies, and like it tickles my, like, when you hear a good melody and it tickles that little bone. I already said this earlier. It tickles that bone in your body that makes you feel emotions when you hear a nice melody. It tickles that for me, just because even though like it's not great, like this album isn't great. It's definitely needs a little bit of work. I think it's a little half-baked at times, especially the Bleachers album. I feel the same way. But there's so many choices that I like and that have me getting those good feels from these really nice melodies, especially on The Man with the Axe. It just does it for me personally. Could just be when I was a child. I feel like every like white kid has a parent who's really into classic rock and played a lot of classic rock for them. I didn't have a parent like that. I just, as a kid, listened to a lot of classic rock, even though my dad, neither of my parents like classic rock that much. I don't really know how that happened, but I was really into classic rock as a kid. A lot of, I think She Said personally, Crosby, Stills, and Nash influence. I can see that with the melodies for sure. Maybe not with like just the sound as a whole. It's a little more tropically and fruity, and not fruity as it, you know what I mean. I just think it's generally pretty entertaining as a whole, this album. I've had fun listening to it, even if it's a little half-baked, it's not great, but it's something that I personally get enjoyment out of it, even though it's not by any means a 10, but I don't have nearly as strongly the negative feelings about this as other people do. I'm kind of shocked by the really strong negative feelings, even from people who aren't Lorde fans. Like, if you were a Lorde fan, I can understand why you don't like this album. But, mixed reception. But I've enjoyed it. I really like it. The Man with the Axe is a really pretty song. I think it's, again, the harmonies and the melodies and the sound of it is just a really nice feel. The lyrics are definitely better than the lyrics on any song from Melodrama, in my opinion, or Pure Heroine. I really enjoy The Man with the Axe. I think it's nice. I don't think anybody else likes the song. Nobody seems to like the songs on Solar Power that I like. But I also, this album is new to me. I'm still getting accustomed to it. I've been listening to a lot of new music, so I'm not as acquainted with it as I am like Melodrama or Pure Heroine. So perhaps my opinion about it will change. But until then, here's The Man with the Axe, and then after that, I'm gonna leave, and it's gonna be end. I'm not gonna play anything after that, and then it's gonna be done. So that's that on that. Hope that's okay. So, Man with the Axe, this has been No Boys Allowed with Jem Miller and Justin Gross, even though Justin's gone. And this was WMUC Digital College Park signing off. The Man with the Axe. Here we go.